What's going on, guys? It's Toasty T-Man here, back at again with another weekly Zur inspection. This week, obviously, Zur's in the tower. With that being said, if you don't know where he is, thank goodness, he's just in this side of the map. I have shown in previous videos, he's somewhere here in the hangar. Obviously, you know. Let's go see where he is. If you don't know where he is, obviously just follow my route. Hey, what's up, Keenway? Let's quickly give him a dance. Actually, you know what? Zur's too important. I do apologize. Let's quickly go see Zur. There we go. Zur, you know, Zur, you can give me all the answers you want after 9 years or 8 years of Destiny. You still haven't given to me anything. Let's see what's inside your inventory. Zur, show me the good stuff. And it looks very... Yikes. Okay, so it looks like Zur this week has Hardlight for you. Hardlight obviously being, auto rifle, being able to switch the elements. Pretty good back in the day. Obviously, it does get different buffs depending on which element you're on. However, it's something I wouldn't really recommend. If you like auto rifles in PvE, you can definitely give it a try. It's pretty fair in PvP. There was a point where it was pretty broken. However, nowadays it's definitely fallen off. Hardlight, if you don't own it, get it. Otherwise, I would give it a skip this week on Hardlight. Hunters, you get Sealed Ahamkara Grasps. This exotic recently did just get a buff. However, I don't think the buff is enough to make it viable. You deal melee damage and then it reloads all your weapons. It also reloads your weapons. Well, it says equipped weapons and then charge melee reloads all the weapons. Okay, so just dealing a melee obviously reloads the weapon you currently have. And then if you just get a final blow with if you get a kill with your charged melee, it reloads everything. And then just gives you a bit of AE, which is not something we want. And then obviously a movement and jump height. Very, very mid. I don't think good enough to make it viable. Definitely, buffs we like, but not enough to make it viable. Stats on it, very, very difficult for hunters. If you don't own it, get it. Other than that, definitely do a skip on the gauntlets for the hunter. Titans, Actium War Rig, obviously with MGs and being meta and machine guns being meta, and then auto rifles, being the current anti-barrier option, definitely can be worth it. However, unfortunately, the stats went into mobility too much. And then secondly, you could just reload your gun. Yes, it does reload while you're shooting, so it gives you more DPS time for DPS phases. Maybe decent if you're using an MG for a Nezarec or something. Definitely a good pickup during Root of Nightmares. However, you could just reload your gun or get auto-loading holster on the gun and then do DPS, and then you don't really have downtime at all, which doesn't take up your exotic slot where you could use something else instead. Warlocks, you get Eye of Another World again. Not the second week in a row, but it's, it was about 2 weeks ago there, if I'm not mistaken. Not bad stat roll. Obviously, we know what it does. It gives you just passive regen. It's one of those exotics you put on, you forget about it. Other than that, can recommend if you don't own it. It's something, if you don't want to think too much about what your subclass is doing, definitely a pickup. However, it's just, if you don't play into a build, really, it's just one of those set and forget kind of exotics. Pretty decent stat roll, 18 resilience, and then obviously you just slap a recovery mod in there for 23 recovery, 25 if you masterwork it, high discipline, which is nice, and a little bit of intellect, which is also pretty good. Definitely a pickup if you don't own it to replace your older Eye of the Nether Worlds. But yeah, if you like the whole set and forget kind of exotics, definitely a pickup for you. Let's quickly go into Hawkmoon. Hawkmoon's got snapshot sights this week. It's got alloy magazine. It doesn't have hammer forged, unfortunately, so not that range that you really want. However, it does have heavy grip, which is the stability and the handling speed. You don't care too much for handling speed on Hawkmoon. So definitely a 3 out of 4 Hawkmoon roll. So definitely a pickup. Obviously, with the changes to Rangefinder, I can definitely recommend snapshot sights over Rangefinder, because Rangefinder is going to get nerfed soon. So I can recommend this. Most definitely pick up this Hawkmoon if you don't own one already. Deadman's Tail. Deadman's Tail has gone through some nerfs, as far as I know. It's still a beast of a PvP weapon if you do find it and you know how to use it. This week, I can definitely say it is pretty good. Flared Mag will always just being a good perk. Obviously, corkscrew rifling allowing just for better recoil direction, actually. And then outlaw, which is the main perk I'm here concerned about. Short action stock, the increased handling is all right because you just get the exotic perk that just makes it better anyway, or the catalyst, should I say. But, you know, for me, outlaw is what makes this gun definitely a pickup if you don't own a good Dead Man's Tale. Legendary weapons. So this week, Peace of Mind. Vorpal Perpetual Motion. Can't even recommend it at all. Vorpal weapon on not pulse rifles, on primary ammo weapons. Can't really recommend it. It is a rapid fire, so it does less damage in PvE. Although pulse rifles got that 20% buff recently, can't really recommend it. If you're one deep sight off it from crafting, I would definitely pick it up. Other than that, can't really recommend this week's Peace of Mind. Disparity. God roll, by the way. Rapid Hit Desperado, a really good PvP roll. It's got steady rounds. It's got Hammer Forge. This is going to be a beast of a gun in PvP. If you like pulse rifles in PvP, it is one of the aggressive frames, so it does do the 4 burst, which is quite nice. Definitely a pickup. Desperado did get nerfed, however, but it's not too bad. It's still pretty decent. Get a kill, reload, quicker rate of fire, definitely on the aggressive burst. If you can craft it, however, it's no need to pick up. But if you can't craft it, obviously for our new lights, it's very decent. This is a very good PvP roll. It's a 4 out of 5 with steady rounds and Hammer Forge. Just the handling is not the best. That's what I'm saying. But definitely a pickup if you're a PvP player. No reprieve. Shotguns, shotguns, shotguns. I cannot recommend this. It does have Accurize, so, I mean, to get that insane range. However, it is a slug. I mean, you can get that range going far, but, I mean, for me, it's just one of those things that, you know, if there's better slugs to use. In PvP, you could just use Chaperone and Steady Hands. Obviously, just, you know, you have to get a kill for that to trigger, and then, you know, kills only generate this. So there's a more PvE role, but can't really recommend this, and slugs are only pretty good in PvP. PvE, this is not the rolls you want on a slug either way. Going to Hollowed Words, a really good PvP role. Obviously, last seen in Season of Arrivals, if I'm not mistaken. Backup plan and under pressure with a charge time, and it does have liquid coils. It does have polygonal rifle. I think actually Hammer Forge rifling is the better one. Can definitely pick this up if you're a fusion rifle person for PvP. Obviously for those medium to close ranges, really good. You swap quickly to it. It charges fast. It's got the charge rate, and then obviously under pressure for PvP gives you more accuracy and stability since there's only 2 shots in your magazine. Definitely a PvP pickup. Last Man Standing. Don't know why Zer's selling this. If you're unaware, the Gambit Prime weapons have come back in Season of the Deep, which is the current season, as of recording this. You can get this roll, or you can get better rolls than Subsistence on it. Discord is really good on Titans, currently with the, I think it's the no backup plans, that's got a buff with shotguns. You can do a double primary build. However, you can get better perks than Discord does allow you to play into that. However, Subsistence is a lot better to get. So if you own Season of the Deep, I wouldn't pick this up. But if you don't have access to the latest season to get your curated rolls, or, you know, to constantly pick a roll and then hope for the best, or to guarantee this gun as a drop, and then obviously get a better perk than Subsistence, I can recommend it. It's not too bad. But Discord, if you haven't seen it, you can go check out a video on the whole works with backup plans, shotguns, and such. Definitely a good perk on Titans. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have backup plans. Sail Spy Pitch Glass. Where have we gone with linear fusions? Linear fusions used to be the pinnacle of damage. However, this being an ad clear built one, I wouldn't recommend it either. You know, if you don't have it craftable, obviously just deep side harmonize it if you're 1 pattern or 2 patterns off. However, can't really recommend it. Nightwatch, Outlaw Rampage, not bad. Only problem is you get a pretty good roll from Sean, straight out the gate. It's got range. You would like stability a little bit more on this one specifically. It's not a bad roll, but, you know, if you're a new light, he gives you explosive payload and rapid hit, if I'm not mistaken, which is arguably probably better. This is a good one that get kills, you know, it gets you more kills essentially. But, you know, just keep that one. Keep your shards. Don't waste 50 shards on this. Then Titans, your armor this week. The gauntlets are pretty good. You are 2 stats off from obviously having a 20-20-20 roll, which is pretty good. I can definitely recommend the arms. Really good high stat roll for you for discipline, and obviously recovery, and then resilience when you slap a mod into it. Sad that it's 2 off, however, still pretty good if you can make up with another piece that is also 2. Chest piece, can't recommend. Don't even bother. The mark, it's the mark, you know. Doesn't matter. Helmet. Going on. Also, same thing as the gauntlets. It's got a 20 in resilience, so you can just slap a recovery mod in there, and very high discipline. Can definitely recommend the helmet, just for that high stats as well, with, being also a high stat in discipline, just giving you really good. But definitely the arms and the helmet so far. And the boots, too much mobility, not enough recovery or resilience. You can take a pass on this. So on Titans, recommend the helmet and the gauntlets. With that being said, let's quickly jump over to the Hunter to see what they have. Finally, Hunters, let's see what you got going this week for you. I can see the gauntlets is definitely a pickup. It's general good for all classes. Got that 20 mobility, which is what you want. Obviously, high mobility is amazing on Hunters. Additionally, at the end of the day, you can just slap a resilience mod on there, and you've got your mobility and resilience at a high stat. And then high discipline and intellect always not being a bad thing. For all the other subclasses, I can definitely recommend. The chest piece is also pretty good. However, I'd only recommend it for the Arc Hunter. Obviously, we can easily get your dodge back, where mobility isn't such a thing with your melee. It's got high discipline and high intellect, so obviously it's not the best thing, but you can always slap a resilience mod in there, get you the 20 recovery, and then obviously 23 resilience, which is pretty good. I think the same can be said for the helmet. It's got the exact same kind of lineup that you kind of want, intellect and discipline. Can definitely play into an Arc Hunter build if you know the whole Assassin's Cowl build. But obviously you wouldn't be equipping this if you're running Assassin's Cowl. So, but definitely if you're equipping something like Shinobu's Vow and you're doing that kind of build, a grenade build more, definitely good for Arc Hunter. And the same can be said for the boots, because it's obviously got that 20 recovery. You slap a resilience mod in there. Got same thing, you got 18 resilience. So definitely this week for the Hunter, the head, the boots, and the chest piece is definitely recommended for arc build, and then the arms are just recommended for general subclass usage, Solar, Void, Stasis, and Strand. With that being said, let's quickly jump over to the Warlock. Now that we're on the Warlock, let's see what he has installed. Warlocks, this week, you get gauntlets. Let's check them out. Obviously, you do get gauntlets as every week. Mobility too high, don't even bother. Wouldn't even recommend mobility on a Warlock at all. Again, mobility too high, wouldn't even recommend. Arms and chest piece, you can scratch those dead. I would not recommend them at all. Helmet, finally something good for the Warlock. I feel like forever that the Warlock hasn't gotten anything good. Resilience is at a cracked 25. Obviously, you can put a recovery mod in there and get it in close to 16, should I say. So not too bad. Obviously, Masterworking, getting into 18 recovery, pretty good, more rift, better. But definitely a very good helmet. I think most Warlocks have, better exotic helms, obviously, so it might depend if you're using the boots or the arms or the chest piece. Actually, if you do the chest piece, probably high. So high discipline, high resilience, really good piece. Really recommend picking up the helmet for the Warlocks. And then finally, looking at the boots for the Warlocks, again, too much mobility. I can't recommend anything like this. If the mobility is too high on a Warlock or a class that doesn't need it, I can't recommend it at all. So Warlocks, unfortunately, again this week, you don't get the good gear, but definitely the helmet is insane. Would definitely recommend picking up the helmet. But that is it, guys. That is your weekly Zur inspection. I hope Zur brought something amazing for you this time round. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember to stay toasty.